Salutations! Today, guess what? I finally made it. I finally made the presentation. Now, before I begin, this is a slideshow of all of my travels. This is what I've done, how my trip to Pokemon World was, all the juicy deeds. And without further ado, let us begin. My trip to Pokemon Worlds 2025. Luna Songbird's story of travel. Now, here's where it's gonna be interesting. So, before I went on my trip, Ooh, how do I put this lightly? My phone had an update that wound up corrupting every picture I would take with the camera. This was a thing for months and months, until one day I installed an update and decided, you know what, let's test the camera. And at the time, I was testing it on a item I was crocheting for the friend who was traveling with me, and it's a shoulder. It's one of those shoulder things. It's a over-the-shoulder water bottle holder. So I thought, you know what? I'm pretty much done with this. I might as well take a picture of it to show off. And what do you know it? It didn't corrupt. Just in time for the trip. And here is a very, very lovely, picturesque image of the companion of the person that I was traveling with at the time. Yeah, this was a fun trip. This was us taking off. This was their first time flying. Let's see here. They're Bunny Sealman over on TikTok. And oh my word, when I tell you, they were so excited about the plane ride. It was a little bit of a rough flight going up and down. But in the end, we made it there safely, and that's all that matters. But I mean, like, look at them. Look at them. They're just so excited. They wanted to watch the window as the flight took off and landed. And here's me taking a picture of us in our hotel room. I took this to send to our parents once we had arrived in the hotel room. And you know, it turned out pretty well. And this is our view from the hotel room we've got. I thought that it was pretty neat, and it might make a good reference photo. Now, up next, on day 1, we checked to see how much it would be to get a ride to the beach from where we were at, and yeah, it was a bit too expensive, $100 there and back. So we decided we'd just stick with wherever the shuttles that were supposedly included in our stay would take us, which was only within the city of Anaheim, unfortunately. And only to a few places, not even to one of the places we wanted to go. But you know what? That's okay. We still wound up having a fun time. Let's see here. So, this was day 1 in Anaheim, and we decided to go and check out the spa, get our nails done after my friend and the bunny finished their homework for college that they're going to. And here it is. I asked permission if I could use these as reference photos, and I thankfully was allowed to. So I have a bunch of photos from the spa to use in my books. There's Onyx with their little nail polish. I mean Bunny. There's Bunny Sealman with their little nail polish. I couldn't even. Honestly, I plan to use... Honestly, This will be a great little reference thing for my books at some point. Not sure when, but it'll be excellent. Now, and a random little succulent. That's us getting our toenails done. They had also never gotten their nails done, and all around it was a good time. Day 2, I had noticed something that wasn't there the previous day. Because you see here, we had flown there the Tuesday evening before Worlds. So Wednesday, there was like practically nobody there. The only people there were for people that were leaving for a business conference that had just ended. So I didn't notice, but the next day Pokemon started flooding in. Like, boom, suddenly Poke fans everywhere in the lobby. And I had noticed that they had added some new decals to the door that weren't there the previous day. Particularly of Kangaskhan, there was another Pokemon there. I just can't remember what they were because this picture of the Kangaskhan's so cute. Like, look at him. Like, that's adorable. And there were some other Poke fans there. I managed to snag some photos. Now, thing is, I had only managed to grab passes for Sunday, so we kind of had to figure out what in the heck to do. We could only do the public access stuff that was available, which there was plenty. There was plenty. Trust me, just plenty. You don't need to worry if you don't get a thing, because there is plenty of stuff available, just open and available to the public that you can do, which is all around just a fun time. Those are some cool pins. So, on day 2, we decided to go to Disney Boulevard. They had a bunch of signs around there. I hadn't known previously that Disney Boulevard was free. Like, I had no clue until I got there, and the lovely ladies who did our nails told us. So here's us with a bunch of pictures, little signs. They insisted on taking pictures with the actual back of the camera on my phone instead of the selfie cam, so all of these photos have quite a funny angle, which honestly I don't really mind because I think that's fun. Anywho, we went into the Star Wars area. This was pretty cool. A lot of these photos I just got so I could show my dad. This one especially, just because I thought it was really cool. The display was really cool. Like, they had actual lightsabers in there and the 3D decals. This one I thought would make an excellent picture to send to our families, which it did. I loved it. It was pretty. Yeah, most of these are gonna be of Bunny because I was the one taking most of the photos since it was my phone. But honestly, it was really fun. Like, got to pose with Hulk, some Star Wars stuff. Someone really nice came by and took our picture of us with the castle in it, which I loved it. This is so good, so cool. And then the Pika blow up. So by this point, all of the Poke fans were here. The actual festivities that weren't just VIP stuff started for Pokemon Worlds. Let's see here. I think I actually, by this point, I stopped organizing by days, and it's just Pokemon themed pictures from here on out. Except for like one point where we get to Knott's Berry Farms, which honestly, fun day, great time, highly recommend going there. They have this this carbonated fruit punch drink that they have. It's so good. I'll tell you more about it when we get there. But yeah, this picture does not do the blow up Pikachu justice. It was big. It was big boy. It was a big boy. It's so cool. And this was an Eevee cosplayer. If you've watched the live streams on Pokemon Worlds in Hawaii, you know her as the Vaporeon cosplayer. I cannot remember her name for the life of me. She has her own business cards that are Pokemon themed. I do believe she's called Eeveelution's Cosplay. Really cool, brilliant outfit. I actually managed to run into her a few times. It was awesome. And here is, on the left here, is her sister that was cosplaying alongside her. They were really fun, really chill about everything. They were really nice about getting pictures for my thing. And here's a cosplayer for Kieran. At one point during the entire thing, I kind of got bored. I'm a bit of an early riser. The person I was traveling with was a bit of a late riser, which honestly, perfectly fine. Gave me time to scope around the area, and next time I travel with them for San Francisco, which I do plan and hope I can get a hold of tickets to that. Yeah, once we get there, I'm hoping our hotel comes with a gym again, because then I can just, if I wake up, feel restless, I can just run my ever-loving heart out and get us breakfast back in the hotel room, so that way they can wake up and, you know, get what they need to done before we go and have fun for the day. Anywho, this guy was awesome. I should not have drawn on that. No, go back. Yeah, I really should not have drawn on this. He was super cool, super chill. I loved the drag. But, you know, it's not a sentence you would hear often today. And this was adorable. I loved this pairing. Like, I think they're siblings, but still, I loved the Espeon outfit and how it's so clear they're traveling together because of the Espeon Umbreon shirt. Next up is a Team Magma Grunt. Okay, so I actually talked to this cosplayer who is the Team Magma Grunt. They have a Hisuian's Doro plush, which I love it. They let me pet it. So soft, so cute. Loved it. Apparently, this entire hoodie thing was handmade. Like, they bought a cheap red hoodie and a cheap black t-shirt, cut it up, and made that whole outfit, and made that hoodie, which I think is so cool. Like, they even, with the gloves, they just sewed the sleeves from the hoodie that was cut off onto the gloves, so that way it would have a bit of cohesion, which honestly, really cool. Loved this. So awesome. And then there's this Ash guy. There were so many people cosplaying as Ash, but this one was one of the best, in my opinion, and I loved it. Everyone there was super chill about me taking pictures of him. And here is, I don't think she's cosplaying a specific character, I think it's an OC, but loved the outfit, loved the fit. On the left here, so good, absolutely loved it. My heart when I saw this outfit, I was like, I actually squealed and got their attention. Now, on the right here, I got way excited because here's the thing. I hadn't seen any Dawn cosplayers all day. And Dawn is the entire reason I even got into Pokemon in the first place. Growing up, I did on the Pokemon anime on the TV, that was all the rage, was actually Galactic Journeys. And the main reason I got into Pokemon was because Dawn was Ash's companion at the time, and I really liked her vibe. Loved Piplup. I loved Mamoswine especially. Oh, Mamoswine. My lord and savior Mamoswine. Damn it. He's so cool. But Anyway, I was hooked. Mainly because my actual name is Dawn, so watching her on screen, for me, it was like watching myself be in that universe. And I just thought that was the coolest thing ever. So that's really carried me throughout the years. Be like, oh, I can really see myself in this world here. I can see myself in the Pokemon world, and it is amazing. Alright, we're on to Knott's Berry Farms. So this was an awesome day. I wish my camera wasn't as smudgy as it is, because this guy's outfit was so cool. I loved it. It was very Westerner goth, and I loved it. I just wish that I hadn't smudged up my camera so much. But that's on me. I realized after I got a picture of him that my camera was actually super smudged, and cleaned it off. And one thing about me and Bunny when we were traveling is that we would make dumb jokes so often. Like, puns is how we communicate with each other, and it is glorious. So that while we were walking around Knott's Berry, trying to looking at everything, trying to find stuff to do because the horses were locked away. I am still salty about that. They spotted this sign, to dance or not to dance. And the reason for their expression in this photo is because it is 100% a joke they would have made. But the people at Knott's Berry Farms beat them to it. They had this coffin there that we did some poses and silly faces with. It was awesome. And here's a picture I took to make my brother jealous. You see here, I have a brother who absolutely loves trains, cannot get enough of trains. If he were to be diagnosed with autism, he would be the train-loving autistic. He's not, but you really could not tell based on how much he loves trains. So I got a picture of this, and wound up making him jealous enough that we had an entire discussion about it when I got home. Okay, and that's one of the back carts to the Galloping Goose. Oh, the Galloping Goose ride was pretty cool, because we, let me think here. Oh yeah, they had this whole little thing, like, they were doing a whole fun train ride around the park, doing the typical tour thing. And then there's this actor coming up to do a whole shtick about bandits on the train, and I loved it. That was awesome. It was super funny, because we would hand him something, and he would just do a polite roast. It was so funny. I loved it. Here is this walks-about guy. He is wanted for being a pie thief. I have no idea the lore of Knott's Berry Farm, so I'm gonna have to look it up. But it was pretty fun. I got a picture with him. Okay, and this is a picture that I got on one of their rides. They had this mine ride, which was a bit of a sensory nightmare for Bunny, if I'm being honest. But it was still but they agree it was still really cool. Next time we travel together, definitely gonna need to bring some soundproof headphones for them. But that's okay. And, like, look at this. It's so pretty. The ride took us through, like, this whole mine thing, which I swear I've seen in a dream before. Which, if you want to hear more about that dream, you gotta like and subscribe and hope I do an episode on it, because most of my dreams were nightmares. And this is a picture that we got over at the single area of the park that's like 60s themed. They had this giant lawn chair there, and I got a couple pictures of that. Anywho, more cosplayers! So here is this Groudon lady, which I loved it. Should have gotten her number. This was awesome. Like the Groudon, I am so jealous. I want that Munna plush so bad. Like that's such a cool outfit, and you could tell that she was a trainer. I have no idea who they are. They just wore a cool cosplay and were recording down in the lobby, and we decided to walk up to them, get a picture, which was super cool. Another cosplayer, I can't remember the name of the character, no idea who this cosplayer is, but their outfit was awesome! So if you're watching this, really liked it, like super cool, they were super chill about it. If you're wondering what that book is, it's actually a little collectathon I was doing then, which I do every time I go to a con, where I try to collect as many signatures as I can. Basically from like panelists, content creators, authors, vendors I think are cool, or even cosplayers that I think are cool. I just try and get as many signatures as I can. And even like, and here's the thing, I was even collecting things with signatures of all the competitors. I haven't done an exact count yet. I know I got really close. I even got Sejun Parks. But the thing is, what about it that's really funny here is that while I was getting signatures, a lot of them, the people traveling there had never signed had signed an autograph before. Some of them were even like, but I'm not famous. So I had to say, I don't care if you're famous or not. You're a competitor. I want you to sign my book. And it was fun. It was a little bit of a challenge navigating a language barrier, but luckily, because of where I work, I already had Translate downloaded on my phone, so I just had to figure out which language they spoke and just used it from there. And it was awesome. And every time they were with family members, every other time they were with family members, the family members would also take pictures of me to show their friends that, hey, someone asked my kid for an autograph. It was a fun time. I loved it. I got a lot. I even got some of the people that I really admire on YouTube signatures. It was awesome. Alright, and these are a cool group of cosplayers. No idea what the Z Alpha protagonist's name is yet. But I don't really care because look, they had clearly just been at the Pokemon Center, and I loved it. I loved it. They were so chill about. She was so chill about it, and like, she's like, "Hey, I look like I'm shopping in Paris. It's fine." So, and there's Larry just being Larry. Larry on vacation, and I loved it. He was so in character whenever took the picture. I loved it. And there's Silver. Silver walked by while I was taking a photo, and I decided, you know what would be cool? If all three of them were to be in one photo, so I did that. And it was awesome! Alright, here's even more. This was on the way to picking up our Sunday passes. So these two were so cool. Could not resist getting a picture of them. It was awesome. Like, Umbreon and Shiny Umbreon, you can tell that they're traveling together, and just by their outfits, and I love that. And we just picked up our passes, and they are doing photos there. So I'm like, but the thing is, Onyx didn't realize that the name they put on the tags were their legal names, and had to use ID for verification, like how specific they were with that. So So we had to go to another line. So this guy in customer service that was helping us out with their tag was like, hey, I managed to see someone cosplaying as a Pokestop from Pokemon Go. And that was super cool because they were right behind us. Like, they were still there at the thing. Just right there, right behind us. So we got a picture with them at the special picture stand, which they had staff there to take the photos with. So that was awesome. Here's more cosplayers. I'm trying to remember the name of this Elite Four member. I have so many names of Pokemon memorized. Why can't I remember this Elite Four member? The ground type in Paldea. This was awesome. Like, oh, I loved it. And there's Iono being Iono. By this point, we were just walking around, taking pictures of people, having fun, collecting signatures. This one is Penny. And later thing is, I saw that I kind of like to joke with one cousin in particular because that Penny is my cousin. Because at one point, I kid you not, this is exactly how my cousin would dress. even had the exact hair at one point, but this was years before Violet and Scarlet came out. And I'm like, oh, this is so my cousin in the Pokemon world. Like, because my cousin is so much more tech savvy than me. And even more, and I'd like to say more chronically online than I am, which is absolutely hilarious. So I love to tease my cousin and say, hey, I found you at Worlds today. I even said that to them and they're like, oh, Luna, why? This joke is so old, but I don't care. It's funny. It's funny, and Penny's really cool, and I think my cousin's really cool, so. Let's see here. And here's a couple of different rocket grunts. I know she's a named character in the Pokemon verse. I'm looking at the picture on the right, by the way, and yeah, I have no idea. I kind of wish M&J TV was there at the event, or if I had caught him cosplaying as Grunty Boy, because then I would have done a quick short video with him. It would have been really cool. But I digress. Like, having a short with Grunty Boy would have been the dream! But even funnier, here's the thing. Out of me and the person I was traveling with, I'm the only one that's actually active on PokeTube. Like, actively watching stuff on PokeTube, which is awesome, it's crazy, it's wild, it's magnificent. Anywho, next slide. So... No! Oh, I forgot about this! Okay, so, this dude was just a furry that was there. Here's the thing. On the way to Disney Boulevard earlier in the week, I had actually saw him walking to the venue from the shuttle. I'm like, oh, furry! And I thought that he had the coolest little furry costume ever. Like, I thought that was so cool. I like looking at furry outfits, not gonna lie. But, like, I had to get a photo with him if I ever saw him again. And lo and behold, I got lucky and caught him. Here's the thing, though. Bunny had no idea that I had no idea who this was until I explained. This was the furry I saw in the shuttle on the way to Disney Boulevard yesterday. They're like, oh, I see. And I had a pen with a Pokeball. What you're not seeing for this silly photo on the right here is that I had a pen with a Pokeball all on the end of it, which is just cut off enough in the photo to be, and they asked, hey, could I make it look like I'm throwing this pen at you for the photo? And he's like, yeah, sure, super chill about it. So they did the pose. I take the photos, and lo and behold, the pen is comedically cut off, making this photo, in my opinion, even sillier. As you can't see the Pokeball pen, the goal was to make it look like they were trying to throw a Pokeball at the person in the fursuit to catch them because Pokemon. But that's not what happened at all. There's one more picture like this one on the right here that I would love for y'all to comment what you think it looks like they're doing in here, because I don't know about you, like if I were to show you this photo and tell you nothing, what the first question you would ask on here, I think a person would ask, is why does it look like she's going to stab him? And I love they why does it look like they are going to stab them? And I would not blame you. I really would not. Anywho, this one is another cool slide. On the left here was this model lady that was doing Cynthia. We got pictures who's with them, and thing is, she had an actual photographer with her, and the photographer, when she was done with the photo shoot, we were patient and waited. We asked if we could get a picture with her, and she was super chill about it. She said sure, and the photographer offered to take a photo, and I'm like, thank you, that's so sweet. We looked at the picture together, asked us to send it to her. I posted it to Instagram later, tried to tag her in it. Hopefully she saw it and got it. If not, then I'm sorry. I hope this video will suffice. Because I love this. Onyx decided to go with the traumatized thing. I don't really care about Cynthia because I didn't first fight Cynthia until I was an adult. So I'm not exactly fully traumatized by it, but oh well. And here's a Luxray, and here on the right is a Luxray fursuit that I thought was the coolest thing ever. Like, that takes dedication, man, which another Luxray fursuit on the right, because I do not have enough cosplayer photos to do another dual slide. And this is a Meloetta cosplayer. I love Meloetta. Meloetta is one of my favorite mythicals of all time. So the cosplay was awesome. Everyone I asked pictures of was super chill about it. And would you look at that? Tell me what you think is happening in the photo. Oh, this is so dumb. So dumb. And I loved it. Comment. Be sure to like and subscribe for more of this stuff. Because, like, oh, I can't even with this. When I first took it, I'm like, oh, this is golden. This is comedy gold. I told them, hey, it looks like you're stabbing them. I'm keeping this. So you're stabbing the Gardevoir. There's me doing the same pose as the Gardevoir. I realized I was making my neck shrink a bit, which not great. I needed to lift my head more, but that's okay. This is all for fun. And here's a picture of the Lucario statue they had there, which is super cool. And we got lots of pictures at the statues together. And we had a lot of fun waiting in line here. As along the way, we wound up encountering this lady who was giving out free buttons, and she let us take 2, and we just passed it around in the line and passed it back to her. It was really cool, even getting encountered some other competitors for Pokemon Worlds. And here she is again, Evolutions cosplays! I told you you'd see her again, now didn't I? I love her Espeon outfit, very cottagecore. And here are some other pictures we got. I had just gotten some new signatures in my book. Like, my bag had been opened and closed enough. By that point, I'm like, I'm just gonna carry it around by this point. And here on the left here is these pictures we got for at the whole what's it called? The TCG Pocket booth. It was super cool. Yeah, and I suggested we do a silly one where it looks like we're gonna hit each other. And when I was making this PowerPoint, I thought, why don't I turn this into a meme? It feels like a meme. So I decided to make this. Tale as old as Gen 2. Who is cooler? Lugia. Lugia is cooler. Than Ho-Oh. And oh man, this makes me giggle looking at it. So you want to turn this into a meme? Go for it. Just go for it. I don't care. This is awesome. But if you want, drop a comment on which legendary you think is cooler, Lugia or Ho-Oh. And thing is, for Legend Z Alpha, we both picked the same starter, which is Chikorita. Which honestly, yeah, Chikorita is a cute little bean sprout. People call her a pear. You're wrong. She's a bean sprout, and I will die on this hill. And here, on the right here, is Pikachu! They had a Pikachu standee line, and we met a bunch of people, talked together, found some unicorns that actually still play TCG Live. Still play the TCG Live app. That app has been deteriorating for years, and I don't know why. Oh well. And here's another photo of us with Pikachu in front of the Lumio City. And here is a Pika Blimp. Get it? Pika Blimp. Anyway. I have no idea whether this is just some random blow-up Pikachu or if this is the Pikachu in the Macy's Day Thanksgiving Parade. No clue. There wasn't anyone around I could ask. Up next is the stage. We needed a minute that was just quiet after the day week for a little bit because I had a brilliant idea for us to go into the arena, which was a very bad and overstimulating idea. So we went over here because it was pretty quiet and checked out this staging area, which I love. Don't know why they have this since they never used it. But they had a bunch of TVs over there, overhead TVs that were displaying the live streams. It was awesome. And, oh man, here's what my brothers would call a waste of a Thunderbird. And what most people that I know would call an adorable little car. I'm sorry, this car is objectively cool and cute. Like, come on, it's a Pika-mobile! It's the Pika-mobile! It's the Pikachu-mobile, like, come on, man. Anyway, here's another one. If I were to say the vibe of the theme of this year, it would be Pokemon meets Beach Boys because of how much beach stuff was there. Which is honestly awesome. I love the little Jigglypuff in the window there. I thought this was so cool. Like, it looks like it could be a Pokemon-themed diner, and I love it. Now, here's the Snorlax that they've got for Pokemon Sleep there. It was just there, blocking the path. Snorlax is blocking your path. Kind of, but not really. I thought it was funny. Now this is my dream bike. This was so cool. Like, they just had him up on display there. They had the Toyota Maridon bike up there on display. I could not believe my eyes. I thought I missed my chance to see him in person, but no. He was still up, still on display on the very last day. And thing is, you can't see it in this photo, but here's the thing. He blinks. He blinks. His eyes are lights that blinks, and they'll even track people. They'll even move as he watches people walk around the room. It's awesome. It's cool. Like, it was so cool. All that was missing was him to make a sound every once in a while. And I'm like, oh, I freaked. I lost my little fangirl mind. Here's another one at the thing we got. This was awesome. I thought that this was so cool. They had like the original battle sequence from the game, the Nidoran versus Gengar, up on display there that you could pretend to be their trainers. And this was a little photo display they had in the building. Someone was really nice to offer to take a photo for us, which I'm so happy they did. Obviously, we had visited the public access Pokemon Center by that point. It was awesome. I got a lot of stuff from that. And here's one of the competitors I managed to get a photo with. I'm sorry, my guy, I still have no idea who you are, but it's fine. And here, I have some Pokemon Go pictures here. This was a Zygarde I had caught while waiting in the hotel room. And this was a raid Zacian that I caught that was shiny. It was shiny from a raid. I could not believe my eyes. This was the first legendary shiny I ever caught in Pokemon Go ever, and I was eager to show it off, so I got a bunch of pictures in Pokemon Go with it. This among the best because this guy was a Nash cosplayer and traveling with the I can't remember her name now, the photographer from the DLC, and I loved her outfit, and I thought it was so fun. All I had to do was tell them where Zacian was, and she aimed her camera right at it, and I loved it. And on the right, here's this dude that was cosplaying as Hitmonchan. He was sitting down there to rest. I felt kind of bad, but this was, best I could do. But I love this photo because it looks like he's about ready to punch Zamazenta in the butt. Okay, so Songbird from the future here. I forgot to put the cameos. I had the cameo photos that I got with people that I met at Pokemon Worlds on the slide here. Be more famous individuals. Anyway, here on PokeTube. If you're watching this, hi. So let's get into it so you can get back to your video fun. Alright, so the first PokeTuber I met at Pokemon Worlds was actually Alpharad, which honestly, awesome. I haven't really watched his videos or his streams for all that long, so not that big of a deal. What was a big deal to me, though, was that Jaden was going to be there that year. Because Alpharad and Jaden almost never go anywhere without each other. And here's the thing. I had first come to Anaheim on Tuesday night, okay? No one was there. No, we were just told that, hey, there are special room keys that you can keep for Pokemon Worlds if you're here for that. And the very next, we went to bed, went to sleep. No Pokemon fans were there, just me, my friend, and Onyx or Bunny Seaman, and staff, along with people from the business conference that was happening right before it. The very next day, we show up, and lo and behold, the entire lobby is filled with Poke fans coming in for Worlds. A lot of them are competitors, some of them were collectors trying to sell a bit of stuff before Worlds. The line to the lounge area where the guest services was completely full. Me and Onyx were going down to get some breakfast, and lo and behold, I catch Alpharad there, sitting there, probably waiting for everybody else from Wildcard who he was traveling with to get there. We talk for a minute. It was actually really cool. I got some Uma Musume cards, which I have right here. He was about to ask which one was my favorite one. I probably looked like he was asking me something, talking to me in another language, which is something I have a tendency to do. Mainly because sometimes I have a hard time understanding what people are saying to me right away. But here are the Uma Musume cards I got. I do actually have a favorite Uma Musume, if you're wondering, and it's vodka. Oh, you can't see it? You can't see it? Oh, dang it. Dang it. Well, he let me pick 3 from the cards he had on hand, which he had them there ready in a fanny pack that he wore on his side. He was super chill about everything. Had the thing on his side. It was awesome. Even got like a half hug, which is nice. Let's see here. But here's the thing. Later on, me and Onyx were just exploring the hotel, seeing what it had to offer. We were tired for the afternoon, so we just decided, and Onyx needed to get homework done for college, so we decided to go back up to our hotel room. So we step in the elevator and take a guess at who was there when we were who hopped on the elevator on the next floor with us. If you said Jacob, Alpharad, and his friends from Wildcard, and one person who I'm pretty sure was Shenpai, and I didn't realize until after I got home, you'd be right. So twice in one day, he definitely recognized me. However, by that point of the day, I had a bit of a better head on my shoulders. So I was actually able to do a little bit of networking, which that is just fancy talk for, essentially I showed them the book I self-published that I'm really happy and very proud of. I honestly, while I know they're more of the fantasy book type crowd, I hope at least somebody, at least one of them, decided to try out my book. I know that's wishful thinking, but I need to indulge in a little wishful thinking every now and then. So, that day I essentially had 2 nickels from encountering Alpharad. And I was so ecstatic, I even made a video about it like a day later. But those weren't the only times I had encountered him. There was actually 2 more times that I encountered him, both on accident. On accident, kinda. Let's see here. Another time I had wound up encountering him. The 3rd time was maybe a day or 2 later, where he had said, like, the previous day when we were talking, I'm like, I had mentioned Jaden, and he said that Jaden was gonna be coming down there tomorrow. Oh, I got a little Jaden crazy and was looking around all over the place. He's for her. Eventually I was tired, and I'm like, you know what? We haven't checked out the fitness center yet. Let's go check it out. I gave up on the search for Jaden by that point. When we went into the gym, we wound up stumbling upon the Wildcard crew again. This time, though, I'd kind of embarrassed myself. I hadn't expected to see actually anybody in there. Because I thought that I actually do follow him on Instagram, so I thought, every time he's at like a major Pokemon event, he always takes a picture of himself in a gym. I thought it was just a gag. Well, silly me! Turns out, not just a gag. I had stumbled upon him mid-routine, and instead of being calm and rational, like a normal human being, I had instead shouted, "Trainer Instinct was right!" And I about died of embarrassment once we were back in the room. On the plus side, I had also encountered Wolfie Glix and gotten his signature by that point. Alright, let's see. I've been on this slide for long enough. Let's see the next one. The next time was when I encountered Jaden, which I'll tell you about that when we get to her slide. I forgot his username, but he is a friend of Purple Cliff. He shows up in his videos sometimes. See, you're in. Shortly after Pokemon World, he appeared in the Hoenn video as a Pokeball, I think. Which, honestly, I died. We talked a little bit. It was awesome. Every creator I met here was super nice. Yes, within reason. It was nice. Let's see here. Next one. You may not recognize her face, but this is Shiny Catherine, and she even gave me her own little business card that looked like a Pokemon card. It was awesome. She was sitting here in the quiet corner, shiny hunting. Onyx really liked to go back into this specific corner instead at Worlds. I have no idea why it was this specific quiet corner every single time. But every single time we went over there, we almost always encountered somebody somewhat influential in the Pokemon community, in the PokeTube community. It was a very good spot in the lobby to go to. It was quiet, away from people. I tried to be nice and quiet so I wouldn't disturb anybody. Because, again, quiet zone. I needed to not yell and disturb everybody there. But she, again, super nice. I know her dinosaur friend was there, which is this guy on the right here, and he's like, "Do you recognize me, teacher?" Trying to get me to recognize him. I did. To be frank, I did. I'm just not that big of a fan of him, so I was super nonchalant about the whole thing. At least about as nonchalant as I get. And here is one of the, what was his name? The Harbord brothers? Super Carlin brothers! One of the Super Carlin brothers. I was actually the first to recognize him. Onyx didn't recognize him, but we could not think of his name for the life of us. Onyx only noticed that he had a very nice mustache. I'm like, he looks familiar. He looks like somebody I've seen on YouTube before. I just could not place the channel. So later, when we encountered Mustache Guy, we kept calling him Mustache Guy. We even said it straight to his face. We're like, "Hey, Mustache Guy, you wouldn't happen to have a YouTube channel, I keep saying you're on YouTube." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm one of the Super Carlin brothers," even uses his catchphrase. Got his signature. Got a picture with him. It was super fun, super cool. And here on the right is the Jaden Animations. You might be wondering, like, I realize she's wearing a mask. Don't worry, it was actually her. I checked her name tag, which she's clearly wearing. So this would be the 4th time I kind of encountered Alpharetta at Worlds on accident. This one was completely on accident. Me and Onyx had gone over to the the favorite quiet corner of the lobby to rest. We were just straight up tired and a little overstimulated from everything. I was at the point where all I felt like doing was whispering. So I was there. I didn't really feel like playing on my phone too much, so I just sat there on the little couch, on that little weird couch thing, looking at everybody that was walking past, just people watching, you know, one of my favorite hobbies. When walks past this pair, I had no idea who they were at first. I just saw the hat, I saw the sleeveless, I saw the hats, the sleeveless shirts, the masks, and they were clearly male-female pairing. The guy was wearing sunglasses. I had just thought they were a pair of Team Skull Closet cosplayers, just because they fit. They were walking past towards the bathrooms that were right next to the area. I'm like, cool, I should go up and cool Team Skull cosplayers, they look nice. Then I noticed the tattoos. I'm like, oh, those are some cool tattoos, but they look familiar. So as they were walking past, I had gotten up and was gonna try and approach, because the water fountain was also right there, so I thought we were gonna go to the water fountain. I'm like, oh, okay, I can just ask him a quick question. Disappeared. So I went back to sit down, thinking, oh, okay, yeah, probably wouldn't have been smart for me to approach him then either. Then I saw her, oh shit, no. So then I saw her sitting down across from me, you know, across from where me and my friend were sitting, just looking down, playing on her phone, waiting for the guy to get back. So I decided, you know what, I should walk up and approach see if she's actually Jaden, because her tattoos look a lot like Jaden's. If she's not Jaden, then I can just compliment her tattoos, and that's that, because I really did think that they were really cool. So I had walked up. This was like, I think this was on the last day of Worlds 2. So I walked up to her, saw she was wearing her name tag, read the name tag. I'm like, oh shit, this is actually Jaden. I asked her, hey, are you Jaden Animation? She's like, yes, I'm kind of I asked her for a picture. She said, sure, just don't post anywhere until after the event. I'm kind of in incognito mode. I'm like, yeah, of course. I wasn't planning to put it into a video until after Worlds anyway. I kept my promise. Jeez, this is well over a month after Worlds, man. But basically, yeah. I've actually got to meet one of my heroes, Jaden Animations. I loved Worlds. It was such an amazing experience. And, oh man, it was just, I was over the moon. After I had gotten my picture with Jaden, by that point, I knew the guy she was with was actually Alpharad. So, he was just standing there trying to be quiet and nonchalant. And I just go back to where I was sitting before with my friend and told them what happened. It was an awesome experience. Oh my word. But the funniest part about the whole thing was, like, I had spent the entire time looking for Jaden when she's not in incognito mode, okay? Trying to spot her out in the wild, because I had only managed to get my hands on a Sunday pass, and I had no idea there were reservations for, like, autographs or literally anything that was happening, because everything for Pokemon World, even though I was checking my emails every day, had somehow slipped under the radar. Sucks, but oh well. And so I had to meet everybody out in the wild, which I got to meet a lot of Poketubers out in the wild, like even Glix. I'm still shocked. I'm still shocked at how I met Glix. But yeah. Anywho, this is awesome. So if any of the people that I took pictures with at this point are watching this video, thank you for indulging me in a quick photo, being so chill about everything. I really appreciate it. And I hope next time we meet, it won't be as fan and content creator, but as on equal ground as fellow content creators. And hopefully I will have my next book out that is actually a fantasy for you, or something for you to read and take home with you. Anyway, back to the main video. Anyway, what next? Pokemon World San Francisco. As of recording this is the Monday before tickets go live. Hopefully I can get them. You'll probably hear something about it in my next video. Hopefully. And in the meantime, I'm gonna try and post as much Pokemon content as I can. Or wait, no, previous. This won't be coming out until the end of the month. Oh my gosh. Oh well. Until then, may the brain rot consume you. Oh my gosh.
Protected the Flutterman, could have just gone for it.
Insane.
Ends up being stellar Moonblast, saying, you have not teared your group on it so many times in front of my offense. I mean, this is an unbelievable lead for Geo. Last game I thought Geo had a big lead. This one feels even larger.
It's going to be Koraidon. It has to take that group on its place, but it doesn't want to be on the receiving end of a Moonblast either. James has preserved the terrestrialization, so you are able to use that to try to take this Koraidon's negative energy away from it. But it's still a tough uphill battle. The terrestrialization committed, and so it's going to be that Koraidon that does get rid of its dragon typing, now becomes a full fire type, and maybe that means we're going to see something like the Flame Turn or Flare Blitz. Really make sure that you're getting as much out of these fire turns as possible. But Incineroar is going to be on the receiving end of an attack as the collision course now will finish off this group on it.
Yeah, securing the knockout there onto Groupon. I mean, Groupon is actually very, very physically defensive on the opposing team, and so I think there's actually maybe a chance he could survive that without the critical hit. But you can see, Rose, you're saying, hey, Koraidon, protect. That makes a lot of sense. That's what James kept doing in that last game. Protect, make a safe switch. James is like, look, I've done that enough. I'm going to punch back with offense, and I think gets a really great trade.
He's going to make sure that his Flutterman can actually punch through. We've only seen the Moonblast. He's still asleep. Koraidon now will go ahead and go for the protect, and as we see the Flutterman go for the shadow ball into that slot, James is hoping this is going to be enough of a saving grace to actually let this Incineroar wake up. But the Heat Wave from this GU will be able to connect onto both targets. Incineroar does take a pretty sizable amount of damage.
Yo, it's still asleep.
It stays asleep, but it is the Heat Wave lock. So now my question is, this Koraidon is bulky? Can it survive a Heat Wave and a Shadow Ball? If the answer is no, the game is done this turn. If so, you keep yourself in it, and you're able to retaliate back with either damage on the Fluttermane or a knockout onto the Chi-Yu. But what makes this so tricky, Rose, is the fact that the Fluttermane is still so healthy. There was no Sucker Punch earlier from the Groupon to break that sash, and Fluttermane right now feels like it's running away with the game.
Shadow Ball first from this Fluttermane is going to go right in that Koraidon that protected on that last turn. This is a huge.
I can't believe I caught this on camera. Oh my word, Giovanni is the world champion. It is over. It's done. This is the last match. Oh my word.
Alongside James, and this could be the day he cements himself in Pokemon history.
This is his moment, and oh my goodness,
Giovanni
he's
won.
Full HP Fluttermane and a Chi-Yu.
There's such a split. Oh my gosh. Like, in order for James to win, he'd have to thread the needle.
This Fluttermane brings his calories down to its focus sash, and it's going to be the Chi-Yu looking at this final HP.
himself a world champion. His very
Oh
first
my
tournament win.
goodness.
What better way to do it than to win the world championships?
An incredible stage for an
Congrats, Gio.
something that he has been dreaming of.
Congrats, Giovanni.